Okay, so I did my project on internet connection in hotels. So, introduction, guest expectations for reliable internet. So, one of the most common issues found in the hospitality industry related to hotels is slow internet connection. Fast and reliable internet connection is no longer considered a luxury. Instead, it's expected. A hotel with poor connection is a quick way to lower guest satisfaction. Nowadays, everyone traveling greatly depends on reliable internet connection at the hotel they are staying at. So, selecting the best internet connection for a hotel is crucial for providing the most affordable, reliable, fast, and environmentally friendly internet. Today, the two most commonly used forms of internet are fiber optic and cable connections. So, introduction to cable, fiber optic, and DSL internet. So, these three are the most common internet connections found in hotels. So, cable internet is a high-speed broadband connection that delivers data over the same coaxial cables that are used for cable television. And then you have fiber optic internet, which is another high-speed broadband connection. However, instead of a cable connection, it uses light to transmit data through thin glass or plastic tubes. And then lastly, you have DSL internet, which is the oldest of the three, which uses existing telephone lines to transmit data at a high speed connection. So here's a hotel internet timeline, just a brief timeline of when these three internets were most prominent. So for the late 1990s to the early 2000s, the most common internet connection found in hotels at this time was digital subscriber line, more commonly known as DSL. However, this was also when cable internet became more popular. Well, larger and newer hotels began integrating their internet connection over to a cable connection at this time. And then you have the mid 2000s to early 2010s. This was when cable internet became the most popular form of internet connection used by hotels. At the time, cable internet provided a much faster and reliable connection compared to DSL. And now, for the mid 2010s up until the present, up until now, hotels have been increasingly switching to fiber optic internet. As hotels grew in size and the number of guests connected to hotel Wi-Fi increased, fiber optic internet gave hotels the ability to continue to provide reliable internet. So, DSL internet benefits and challenges. The benefits for DSL internet is that it's widely available since it uses existing telephone lines. It's affordable. It's the most affordable of the three internet options. It's affordable as approximately $30 to $50 a month, while cable internet is approximately a hundred or $30 to $100 a month. And then fiber optic internet is the most expensive, typically at $50 to $100 a month. And installation for DSL is installed through standard phone jacks. So it's a very simple installation process. And then the challenges of DSL internet is that DSL is the most outdated internet connection option of the three. Therefore, it typically provides the slowest internet speeds of the three. It connects greatly depending on how far one is from the central office. So if you're not the central office for like DSL connection, if you're further away from that, it will be a longer or not as good of a connection. And then this technology is also aging and is no longer commonly used. It is the most outdated technology or internet connection of the three. And then DSL is also not ideal for handling high bandwidth uses, which hotels frequently experience. So, especially for hotels, which have a high bandwidth, a high number of users using the Wi-Fi at the same time with multiple devices, DSL would probably be the worst option when you look at it in that sense. So internet benefits and challenges. So the benefits of cable internet is that it provides faster download speeds at about 100 megabits per second to 1 gigabyte per second. It is still widely available in most cities and rural areas. It provides a more reliable internet connection than DSL, and cable internet is good for using for video calls, gaming, and streaming. Uh, Lastly, cable internet is easy to install because it uses existing cable TV wires, and cable internet is currently the most commonly used internet still in hotels, despite fiber optic internet being the fastest growing internet in hotels. So the challenges of cable internet. So it has a shared bandwidth. Therefore, the more devices that are using the internet, the slower the internet connection will be. Additionally, cable internet does not have the fastest uploading speeds compared to its downloading speeds. It is more likely to experience congestion in densely populated areas, and it is not as fast and as reliable as fiber optic internet. So the bandwidth or the amount of users that are on using the internet can, I mean, if there's a bunch of people using the internet at once, more than normal, then the internet will be slower. It's not very flexible at handling large amounts of data going through these cables for cable internet. And then lastly, we have fiber optic internet benefits and challenges. So the benefits of fiber optic internet is that it currently provides the fastest and most reliable internet speeds at 1 to 10 gigabytes per second. It provides consistent upload and download times, making it the best option for gaming, cloud work, and video calls. It also provides the lowest latency, which improves responsiveness in all devices that are connected to the internet. It also has a very flexible bandwidth that can support multiple devices at one time without slowing down. It is still not the most common form of internet connection that can be found in hotels today. However, fiber optic internet will likely continue to expand in the hospitality technology industry. So it'd be good for any hotel that's able to afford it to make the switch. And then the challenges of fiber optic internet. So despite being the most commonly used internet connection, fiber optic internet may not be available in more rural areas. Fiber optic internet has the highest installation costs of these three internet connection types, and fiber optic internet also has the longest setup times. It normally requires hiring an experienced technician to set it up, and fiber optic internet is also the most expensive monthly or yearly subscription. So the main drawbacks are really the installation with costs and the complexities that come with getting fiber optic internet installed, despite it being the fastest and most reliable internet. So impacts of internet connection on hotel guests. So as mentioned before, hotel guests no longer see fast and reliable internet as a luxury. Instead, fast and reliable internet is expected. Fast and reliable internet is not only likely to create high guest satisfaction, instead it prevents them from having a poor guest experience. So it's more about not trying to get them to have a good experience as much as it is just preventing them from having a poor experience because fast internet is expected, not something that people see as a luxury. So, despite fiber optic internet being around for over a decade, providing the fastest and most reliable connection, over 80% of hotel guests in the past year have reported poor internet connection. Nearly one third of negative hotel reviews cite poor internet connection as the reason for their negative guest experience. And this is pretty big considering that 92% of guests expect fast and reliable internet. This is still an ongoing problem in the hospitality industry. So, impacts of internet connectivity on business. So, the two most impactful areas on the hotel business that internet speeds impact are the hotel's operations, the booking updates. These two areas directly impact the yearly income that hotels make. So, online booking, reliable internet connection is critical for consistent booking through their websites. Travelers often research hotels to stay at online, and if a hotel website is not running properly, the hotel could experience a lot of lost customers, which directly affects yearly revenue. And then hotel services and operations. Many hotels now offer a lot of their amenities through websites. This includes checking in and checking out, room entertainment systems, streaming services, room service, ordering, booking activities, and concierge assistance. With all these important services frequently located online, fast and reliable internet connection is more important than ever to ensure all these operations run smoothly. So, current internet connection trends in hotels. So, while cable internet is still the most commonly used internet connection in hotels today, it is decreasing as fiber optic internet becomes more popular. The technology trend is that many hotels are upgrading to fiber optic networks for improved performance. As hotels increase their dependence on technology, reliable internet connection is crucial for guests' internet connection in most hotel operations. Hotels that provide smart rooms, advanced security systems, and other emerging technologies are more dependent on reliable internet than ever. So here's an internet connection comparison between fiber connection, cable connection, and DSL connection. We have a few different devices that would be used to like just determine the different loading speeds. For example, for a 4-minute song that's about 4 megabits, it would take only 0.03 seconds to load on a fiber connection. It would also take 0.03 seconds to load on a cable connection. However, on a DSL connection, it would take a full second. Next is like a 9-hour audiobook, which is 110 megabits. And that would take only zero point 0.9 seconds for a fiber connection. It would take 9 seconds, so 10 times the initial loading speed of fiber connection for a cable connection. And then DSL is 36 seconds. So, and then a 45-minute TV show that would take about 1 second through fiber optic connection. That would take 16 seconds on average through a cable connection, and a DSL connection would take about 1 minute and 7 seconds on average. And then you have a regular 2-hour movie that would take about 12 seconds to load up on a fiber connection. On a cable connection, it could take about 2 minutes and 8 seconds. On a DSL connection, on average, it takes 8 minutes and 35 seconds. And then a 2-hour HD movie, which takes 3 times the amount of gigabytes as just a regular 2-hour movie, would take 38 seconds to load on a fiber connection, and then 6 minutes and 26 seconds on a cable connection, and then 25 minutes and 46 seconds on a DSL connection. So industries using fiber optic internet. So this pie chart compares the volume of the fiber optic connection used by different industries in the US. As you can see, in 2024, the telecommunication industry has dominated the fiber optic cable market. So yeah, the telecommunication industry is at 29.5%. That's higher than what fiber optic internet is used for even industrial, medical, and defense and military industries. So conclusion, solution, and biases. So solutions to slow internet and unreliable internet. So in order to provide reliable and fast internet to hotel guests and hotel operations, integrating to a fiber optic network is necessary. The high volume of devices that are connected to the same internet at the same time can no longer be supported by a cable or DSL network. Fiber optic internet is also not always consistent and is still prone to connection loss and power outages. Therefore, it is also important for hotels to have routine checkups and tests on the internet connection. This proactive approach to preventing poor internet connection is necessary for limiting poor customer experience. And then some biases to this solution. So hotels may be against integrating to a fiber optic network because of the complicated installation that will likely require an experienced technician. Hotels will also likely have to pay more for the maintenance and installation of a fiber optic network. And lastly, hotels may be located in more rural areas that do not have access to fiber optic internet software or technicians that can install it properly. So, final points, conclusion. Uh, so, hotels are held to a high standard for providing fast and reliable internet to their guests at all times. So, failing to do this can quickly result in more frequent poor guest experiences. Additionally, hotels will need to be able to accommodate for many other emerging technologies in the hospitality industry that require an internet connection. And compared to cable and DSL internet, fiber optic internet is the most expensive network to install and pay for monthly. Additionally, it is a complicated system of fibers that require a lot of time setting up. However, because of the increasing demand for faster and more reliable internet, more and more hotels will have to continue to integrate towards a fiber optic network. And so here are the works cited from industry sources. And then here are the works cited from academic research sources.